Hello everybody. If you've been a subscriber for a while, you might recognise this bundle of sticks as a field maple fusion project, which hasn't been a particularly unparalleled success. In fact, well, we've definitely got fusion. We do have an odd shaped tree indeed, but we have got some fusion, at least at the base. Lots of odd strange wire scars which will need taking care of over the years, and why I'm wearing these big gloves is we've got a bunch of stinging nettles that have moved in over winter, which I need to get out, and they're going to fight me, which is a nuisance because I didn't want to have to repot this tree. Today I was hoping to leave it another year. I still might. I just guess I'll just have to put on the gloves every now and again and pull out the stinging nettles. Unless I can get all the root out. Well, not too bad. I think I've got most of it, so if I just keep on top of it, that shouldn't be too terrible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this piece of wire at the base, which goes against what I did with the oak. When I moved that, parts of the tree moved away, but I've got almost complete fusion all the way around that I can see now, so I'm going to pull it off and get rid of it. If I can find my wire cutters. There they are. So yeah, I'm going to pull that piece of wire off, if I can see that. There it is. Get the wire cutters in there, and should be able to just pull it away fairly easily. I'm going to have to deal with this stuff at the top here before it pokes me in the eye. So let's just trim everything back that I'm not wanting in my eye. So that's all the work I'm going to do for the top of this tree. Not detailed work, it's just part of a longer term plan. What I'm going to try and do now is graft in, and unfortunately I don't have a Dremel to use as Kenneth did, but graft in some of these field maple seedlings which are just waking up into the base of the tree to help fill in some of these gaps and create me a nice Nebari with some radial roots. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to start by removing the surface soil of this tree, tray rather, and giving me some roots. Sometimes my words come out wrong, they do. Give me some room to put some of these young trees in. Okay, so that's got rid of, I guess, about the top inch of the soil, and just remove a few of these roots that are sticking up. Out of the way. As you can see, in particular here on this side we've got gaps, so I'm going to try and put some trees in and around to fill up some of these gaps, and as I say, create a radial root pattern, if and I can. I think that's a bit of a stinging nettle root. I can tell because it's yellow, and stinging nettle roots are generally quite a bright yellow colour. Okay, so we'll get the tray out of the way and start getting some of these young trees into place. So I have a tray of field maple seedlings here which are just bursting into life, and what I'm going to do with these is I'm gently going to tease them out as best I can, without doing too much damage, until I have a little seedling like so, and then I can just give it a little snip there, and I'm going to try and graft these into place, with this being a surface root. Now, to aid that, what Kenneth did and what I'm going to do is to get these roots together in a little bundle, all going in the same direction. I'll wrap them in some toilet tissue, like so. And then we have a little pliable root and trunk that can be put into place wherever I feel I need a root, and wherever there is a gap I want to fill. So we have a gap here, you can just tuck that in like so, around these other branches which are fighting me every step of the way, like they do. Much fact that could do with being that side of it. Now I have a surface root there, and a tree that can be grafted into place there. Now Kenneth used a Dremel, or even Ken used a Dremet, take your pick. Sorry Kenneth, but I'm not going to do that because I don't have one, which is a very good reason not to do it, of course. And I'm just going to basically lay those in place, and then once they've been in place for a little while, when they're starting to grow well, I will tape them with some grafting tape for the rest of the season. So it's just a question of tease out a tree, take away the roots going in the wrong direction that are too thick to tease into the right direction, wrap it in some toilet paper, and then I'm just going to place them into position all around the tree. So that's going to get boring for you to watch, so I'll speed it up a little bit. That one's no good. They can go in the bucket of water so they don't dry out completely. I could I'm going to lose that one. Keep those two together like so. Now the paper will rot away, leaving the roots situated in place in that radial pattern. So I'm gonna turn the camera off, continue on, and we'll come back when we're done. Okay, so yeah, not sure quite what to say now. So it looks something like out of Revenge of the Mummies or something. These little bandaged up roots that I then need to tie in. But before I do that, I'm going to fill in with some soil to try and keep the roots in place. Throw down some fertiliser just out of reach of those roots. I don't want it on top of those roots. But put it at the top here so it can percolate down through. Nice generous amount. Controlled release fertiliser. Okay, so then we'll start to fill in some soil over the top of these roots, and hopefully that will weight them down a little more, get them to stay in position, and then I can get the grafting tape around as well, and that will sort of pull those in nice and tight then. And then assuming all these live, they will graft, and try not to get soil behind the seedlings. That's not one of the seedlings, that's a piece sticking out. Okay. Right, that should hold those roots in place for now. A little bit more for some extra weight, and then we'll spread that out over the rest of the pot. And then we'll try and get the grafting tape on. And this stuff is biodegradable. It's supposedly it can be left on and on and on. So it's also supposed to stick to itself, but in my experience it really does to begin with. But we can get that in and down and get those trees tucked in. That'll be the magic trick. Once you get it going, it does start to stick to itself, but it is quite brittle. I may put a piece of wire around it to hold it in place and then put the tape over the top. That sounds like a plan. Okay, unfortunately, yeah, that should do it. That should hold them in place long enough for the grasping tape to go round. There's a couple of places, for example, here where the tree has got a hollow, that it's going to take a little while for the trees to fill out, but that's okay. Under there, and then hopefully these roots will splay out and those pieces will fill in that hollow. Okay, so that wire's holding that. Let's go. Okay, so there you go. Thanks to Kenneth again for the idea. Hopefully it'll work. I'll put a link to his channel in the description, and then you can go across and see what other good stuff he does. I've no idea which is the front of this tree and which is the back of this tree. Time will tell whether this fusion project will actually work. It's getting there slowly, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to put this back where it was by the pond and let it grow on for another couple of years, and we'll come back and visit just to see how these little seedlings look over the summer. Okay, so it's the 28th of April today, and this big field maple fusion project is living its life in this pot by the pond, and all these new trees that I put around are all shooting away, and so I'm hoping that this experiment will see them fuse to the trunk over the next few years and give me that radial root pattern that I hope for. Only time will tell. Anyway, the tree is growing away really strongly and fusing nicely. So much for watching. Please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe, everybody.